Hello and welcome to Wayne Valley High School for today's girls soccer Passaic County Finals matchup that features the Wayne Valley Indians and your Wayne Hills Patriots. Alongside Jason Hook, I am Noah Sandler to bring you today's matchup. The Patriots girls soccer team has a record of 13-3-1 going into today's game. These two teams have already played each other once, each winning one game between the two teams. Hills won the first meeting 3-1, and Valley won the second one, shut them out 3-0. Two really good teams that have had amazing seasons. A few key players from both teams that are really contributing to give both these teams a really good year. Now, Jason, who's your key player?
My key player for today's game is Sophia Bradley, the leading scorer of the team. She's got 24 goals so far this season, which accounts for a third of the team's goals so far. All-around amazing player. You see her on the field with amazing footwork, amazing power in her kick. And once again, you're going to see a lot of great plays from her this game.
Yeah, and now let's take a look at a bracket on the road that both these teams took to get here. So Hills beat Passaic Tech 5-1 in the quarterfinals. Then they beat Hawthorne last weekend 2-1. And now they're in the finals against Valley. And for Valley to get here, well, both teams had a bye to get to the final. Valley shut out Clifton 4-0. Then they beat DePaul 1-0. So now they're here today. So Valley hasn't given up a single goal in this tournament so far. So like I said, two really good teams, and hopefully we'll see a great game today. So that's all we have for our pregame show today, and we will see you for the game in just a few moments.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Positano Pizza, the finest Italian cuisine and pizzeria. Show us your Wayne Hills student ID to get 2 slices of pizza or a bowl of pasta, plus a drink for only $5.
And now, welcome back to Wayne Valley High School, where your Wayne Hills Patriots are playing the Wayne Valley Indians. Again, I am Noah Sandler, alongside Jason Hook for tonight's crosstown rivalry matchup in the county finals between these two teams.
Yeah, and they've played each other multiple times so far this season, and, a lot of back-and-forth games that we've seen. So it's definitely going to be a great matchup to watch, especially, in the finals of this county tournament.
As we're getting ready to start off here, both teams still in their huddle. Coach Rayberger talking to his team, stressing the top points for this game, and as well as the Valley team is also in their huddle. As you saw in the bracket in the pregame show, both these teams have only had to play 2 games to get here today, because both teams got a bye in the first round, and they just had to play in the quarters and semis, and now here in the finals between Hills and Valley. Both teams have broken the huddle, and we're getting ready to go here. Our starting goalie for the Patriots is Janelle Lasario, the senior. She's been great all year. She's faced some tough shots, and she's handled them greatly over the season.
Yeah, Lasario so far in the season has 47 saves, playing most of the games, as they have used sophomore Danielle Ionelli in the goal for a few other games. But Lasario seems to be the main option in the goal, and she's been doing a great job of it so far this season.
And the starting goalie for the Wayne Valley Indians is Astrid McGraw, also a senior. She started in the last game between these two teams. She looked great. She didn't even let in a goal as Valley shut out the Hills team in that game. And it looks like it'll be Wayne Valley to start with the ball here. At Wayne Valley High School, our game is underway, and that's passed all the way up the field, but Season Tone able to stop it. And now for Valley, that's passed to Josic, who takes a shot that goes wide and out of play.
Valley's starting things off very quickly. They're going to move down the field as quick as possible. An early start to the game is definitely what they need to push things forward.
Now that pass back and forth between the goalie and the defender. Osback on the ball. Osback Passes over on the side. There's Weltman on it. But that pass goes to the Valley players. And now we see Megan Weiss on the ball. And Weiss on it again. Then that ball goes out of play. It's a Valley ball. And that's passed in towards Josic for Valley. And now Josic on the ball. She passes it all the way up the field. But that is scooped right up by Lasterio. Looking for a foul there was Carissa Goodwin, but she didn't get one as play resumes. Weltman passes it to the star player Bradley. Bradley not able to handle it. And now chasing after the Valley players with Season Tone. And now Weltman still on the ball. She passes it over to Weiss. Now Valley with possession. That is Josic on the ball. It's a nice move. She passes it over to Tori Ryan. Josic still remains on the ball, getting past all the defenders, but now Dara Golden there to stop that pass, and that ball goes out of play. It is a Wayne Valley ball.
Hill's making sure they bring their A game here on defense, as the ball hasn't seemed to pass that 20-yard line yet.
And now Sophia Bradley on the ball, using her speed, and that ball goes out of play. It'll be Dara Golden to pass it in. She's looking for an open player in maroon. And she finds Weiss. Weiss using some nice moves to get it over to Season Tone. And that goes all the way to the other side of the field, out of play. Weltman wasn't able to get there in time. And now that's passed in. Season Tone on the ball. And now Weiss with it. Now she passes it to Mia Lombardi, who takes a shot. And that is saved by McGraw.
Ashton McGraw, the goalie for Valley, has 73 saves going into the season. Picks up her 74th there. A really crazy stat that she has, that in just 18 games played.
Yeah, she has looked great all year. As we see Josic on the ball, but Kazan able to get it. And now that is passed over to Lombardi on the near side of the field, but that goes out of play. It'll be Maddie Testa to pass it in. She gives it to Josic. That's back and forth between Ryan and Josic. And Testa boots it down the field. And now that's Goodwin chasing after it for Hills. And that was kicked out of play by Josic, and it'll be Dara Golden to pass it in. She gives it to Bea Kazan. And Golden gives it into Lombardi. Tori Ryan on the ball now. Now that was that pass intended for Josic goes out of bounds. Now that's passed into Bea Kazan, all the way across the field to Weltman. Weltman on the ball. She gives it to Bradley. And that ball goes out of play. It is an Indians ball. And now on the ball, Osbach. That goes out of bounds. The Indians with the ball. Passed into Ryan over there. And now Mia Lombardi hits it off a Testa. And Megan Weiss on it. She gives it to Golden. That goes out of play on Testa. It'll be Dara Golden to pass it into Season Tone. And she gives it to Goodwin. And now Bradley on it, gives it to Lombardi. Lombardi using her speed to get down the field. Lombardi centers it, but there's no one there to pick up her pass. Lombardi still staying on it. and that is stopped by McGraw.
Lombardi does a great job using her speed to get to the ball. A lot of these attackers on the Wayne Hills team utilize their speed a lot, especially her, Bradley, Weltman, all really fast players doing a great job in getting to the ball.
Now Osbach passes it over to Sadrowski, and that goes back to the goalie. Lasario kicks it down the field, but that was chased after by Fusinello. And Osbach passes it to Bradley on the far end of the field, and that is kept in bounds by Valley. And now it finally goes out off Bradley, and now it's passed in. Season Tone on the ball, and now Weiss gives it to Golden, and that is kept in bounds by Weiss. Weiss intended for Lombardi, and that goes out of bounds. It will be an Indians ball.
Dara Golden, as she throws in the ball, something that we've noticed in the latter half of the season, she's been getting a lot of playing time, sort of as a defensive midfielder hybrid that we see a lot between the players of this team.
Now that ball goes out of bounds. Mom. And now that's passed over to Golden. And that pass to Lombardi. Lombardi chasing after it. Lombardi gets it away from the goalie, and that is centered, and that ball goes out of bounds. A nice play by the defense for Valley.
Astrid McGraw makes the dive to distract Lombardi, and unfortunately she just couldn't get that crossover to Bradley.
Now Golden on the ball. She gives it back to Lombardi. And that goes to Season Tone. And that is centered towards Weiss. Weiss takes a shot. And now Bradley's there, and that goes out of play towards the corner of the field, not able to keep it in. Now Rathjen on the ball. Fusinello kicks it deep down the field. Now Bay Kazan on it. And on a nice breakaway there, a little bit, this Ramos on the ball. She gives it in towards Josic. And that is saved by Lasario.
Lasario picks up her 48th save this year. Another amazing goalie. Both teams seem to have great goalies on their respective teams.
And Weiss on the ball. She gives it to Barry Kazan. And now that is passed over to Weltman. And Weltman gives it to Bradley. But Bradley not able to handle it, and that goes to the Valley players. And Weltman able to keep it in bounds. She gives it to Sadrowski. Now Sadrowski towards the middle to Weiss. And now that is passed to Golden, who kicks it down the field to Lombardi. Lombardi on the ball now, fighting with the defender in Testa. And she gives it in towards Bradley, and that goes out over to the corner and out of play.
Amazing look there. Golden sees Lombardi wide open. She's able to get that right at the edge of the boundaries, and they're able to push it forward.
And now Weiss on the ball. She centers it. And now a shot taken by Season Tone that goes high and over the net. And now that is passed in Bay Kazan on the ball with 29-24 to go in the first half. Now that goes over to Goodwin. Goodwin on the ball. She passes it to Golden. Golden gives it to Weiss. And now Weiss kicks it in towards Bradley, but that goes over the head of her. Josic on the ball. Now Goodwin over to Bay Kazan, trying to settle it down a little bit. And Golden not able to effectively deal with it, but Goodwin's able to clear it out. And now that is Vivino on the ball. And now Tori Ryan. And now Bay Kazan passes it back to Osbach. Now Sadrowski down the field. That pass intended for Bradley, but that pass just goes out of play. Wayne Valley ball. Now that goes into Ryan. Emily Josic on the ball. Josic with some time, but takes a shot that goes off of Osbach. Now Megan Josic on the ball. And that goes to Osbach. And now she takes it for herself. That goes over to Bradley. Now Bradley gives it to Weltman. Weltman tries to center it, but that is broken up by the defense. That was Rathjen. It is a Wayne Valley ball. Rathjen to pass it in. That goes into Tori Ryan, who clears it down the field. And now Golden on the ball. Golden pass intended there for Lombardi, and now Goodwin on it. She gives it to Weiss. Now that's back over to Golden. And that ball goes out of play. Patriots ball. Now passed in towards Weiss. Weiss not able to deal with it. And now back and forth between Ryan and Josic. Ryan on it now. Ryan tries to take a shot, and that pass is broken up by Osbach. Nice play there by the defense.
Great stop there by Ava Osbach. All around, this defense has been amazing so far this season. You got Ava Osbach, Carissa Goodwin, Alessandra Chodorowski, all doing great jobs on that defensive end. Really helping out Lisario, stopping anything from getting to that goal.
Now a corner kick here for Erin Clark. That is passed in. Way too high over all of the players. And now Lombardi on the ball. But that pass intercepted there. And now chasing after it is Ramos. Ramos just able to keep it in. And that ball goes out of play. It's a Wayne Valley ball. Rathjen passes it in. Now Ramos on it. Over in the far corner of the field. That is centered and broken up by the defense. That is just kept in bounds. Passed over to Ryan. And now picked up by Lisario. Now Osbach on the ball. That goes to Season Tone. And now Weltman after it. She passes it in. There's Lombardi. But Testa breaks that up. And that goes right to Golden. And now picked up by Lasario. Now passed in. Intended for Lombardi. Lombardi not able to deal with it. And now Bea Kazan on the ball. She passes it to Golden. Now Golden into Lombardi. And that is just kicked out of play. It'll be Golden on the ball. Now that goes right back out. Golden will pass it in again. She passes it to Weiss. And that goes out of play again. Now Lombardi on it. She gives it to Bradley. And that ball goes out of bounds again. Wayne Hill's ball. Kept in bounds. And now that goes out. It is a Wayne Valley ball. Now Weiss keeps it in. And now Weiss takes a shot. That goes wide of the goal.
Fortunate there. It just goes left of that goal. That Patriots offense has been doing a great job, however, this game when it comes to putting the pressure on the Valley defense. Unfortunately, just couldn't get that shot going for her.
Now it is passed in. Golden into Lombardi. Now Lombardi with two defenders on here. And that is out on Valley. It'll be Golden to pass it in. She gives it to Bradley. Bradley had that broken up by a defender. That goes out of bounds again. It is a Wayne Valley ball. Testa to pass it in. Now that goes into Emily Bolson. And now Hill's ball. Now Bea Kazan back to Goodwin. She gives it to Weltman. Weltman through the legs of Hammer. But now Valley on the ball. That is Ramos. Now Golden on it. Gives it back to Goodwin. And Tori Ryan on it. And now Bea Kazan back to Sidrowski. And that is just kept in bounds there. And that goes out of play. Wayne Valley ball. Tori Ryan on it. Now Wasiki. And that is just picked up by Lasario.
Patriots once again doing a great job putting that pressure on the Indians. As, on defense, they're making sure they get to the ball as quick as possible, able to make those stops before the offense could do anything.
And now just kept in bounds there. And that is passed to Lombardi. And now here is Bea Kazan on it. She gives it over to Weiss. Now that was chased after by Season Tone, not able to get there. Now back towards the defense. Here's Osbeck on the ball. She gives it to Golden. And now that is broken up by Testa. Testa able to keep it in. Now that goes near Goodwin. And now Season Tone on the ball. Now Bradley with some nice moves there. She passes it into Season Tone. Takes a low shot there. Scooped up by McGraw. With 19:39 to go in the first half.
Bradley once again doing a great job with the footwork. Unfortunately, just can't get that past the defense as it's scooped up by McGraw.
And now there's Lasario on it. She just picks it up, rolls it over to Goodwin. And Goodwin passes it into Season Tone. And that goes out of bounds. It's Bolson to pass it in. She gives it to Wasiki. Now Kazan back to Goodwin. That was Vivino on it. Now Clark on the ball. Clark with some time. And that is just kept in bounds. Now Weiss on it. And a shot taken. Saved by Lasario.
That'll be Lasario's 49th save and her second of the game. One away from that 50 mark here in her senior season.
And now Lasario with some time to pick it up. And now she rolls it all the way over to Sadrowski. Clear down the field. Chasing after it is Season Tone. She's able to get possession. She gives it to Bradley. And now Lombardi on the ball. That goes over to Weiss. Passed over to Bradley. And that goes out of bounds. Now Weiss back to Bradley. Weiss takes a shot, but McGraw picks that up. Now Golden after it. She gives it to Bradley. Weiss able to keep it in. And now Hammer passes it over to Tori Ryan. Tripped up there, but she remains with the possession, and Goodwin is able to have the possession for herself, and she clears it. Bolson on the ball. Bolson passes it to Ryan. Bolson to Ryan again. And that goes out of play on Weiss. Now Bolson to pass it in. That goes into Josic. Now tripped up there, whistle is blown. It is a Wayne Hills ball. 15:58 to go in the first half. Sadrowski on it. But Valley's there. Josic on the ball with some time. Now she passes it over to Ramos. And a shot taken. No goal. That went over the goal. Got lucky there on that play. Looked like that could have gone in, but it went just over. And now Lasario. Ramos and Goodwin after it. Goodwin tripped up there. Now Ramos gives it to Bolson. Now Goodwin on it. And she clears it down the field over to Bradley. Now Weiss on the ball. And now that is Weltman with some time using her speed, but that goes out of play. It is a Wayne Hills ball. 14:44 to go in the first half. And that'll be Sadrowski to pass it into Kazan. And she gives it to Osbach. And Osbach, and here's Weiss on it. Chased after by Bradley. Bradley with a little bit of time. She takes a shot there. That's broken up by the defense. Another shot taken. And now Weiss with a shot. And that is saved by McGraw.
McGraw coming into this game with 73 saves. We knew she would be a force to be reckoned with in the goal, and she's shown it. A lot of great diving saves, as you saw on that last play.
Tori Ryan on the ball. Now she gives it to Josic. Now Ryan passes it in. And a nice save there by Lasario. That was Emily Josic with the opportunity there.
Lasario once again with another great save. She's been doing that a lot so far this season. She's been doing a great job. Takes that pressure, and she's able to turn it into a save.
And that goes wide. And it'll be Clark over there on the far corner of the field. Now that is passed in and over the head of the mob of players, and that goes out of bounds. It is a goalie kick. Wayne Hill's ball. Now that's passed to Golden. Ramos on it, and that goes out of play. It'll be Golden to pass it in. She gives it to Bay Kazan, who passes up the field to Lombardi. Vivino on it. That's given in towards Bolson. Now Golden able to keep it in. Now pass between a few players in white. Now Ramos on it. And Weltman with a nice play. She passes it up to Bradley. And now Sydney Chesson on it. And Valley with some nice possessions here. And now Season Tone passes it up to Weltman. And that's Fusionello on it. And Ramos fighting with Sydney Chesson. Now Bolson. Tori Ryan on it to Josic. But nice job by the defense there, Bay Kazan. And now Valley with the ball again. Emily Josic on it. Tripped up there. Whistle not blown on that play, and that goes out of bounds. Wayne Valley ball. And now Lasario there to pick that up. Has passed the host back. And now Hills with the ball. That goes to Golden. And that goes out of play. Wayne Hill's ball. That's passed in towards Lombardi. Now Bolson into Ryan. Ryan with some nice moves there, but Golden able to intercept that pass. And now Mia Lombardi able to get a nice break there with that ball, and that she passes it back to Chesson. Now it is kicked all the way down the field to the defense. Clark on it. And that ball goes out of play. It'll be Sophia Bradley to pass it in with 9:17 to go in the first half. And now Weltman will pass it in. That's passed into Lombardi. Lombardi to Bradley. Bradley trying to get past the defense there. Just kept in bounds. And now it goes out. Wayne Valley ball. Substitution will be made. Rathjen coming in for Emily Bolson for the Indians. And now Weltman passes it into Bay Kazan. That goes out of play again. And here is Weltman. And now into the game for Hills is number 12. And coming out is Sidrowski. And Bay Kazan on it. And that goes out of play. And the clock will stop. Coach Rayberger wants to talk to the ref first. Not that good of a conversation there between the ref and Coach Rayberger. Josic on the ball. And the whistle is blown. 7:24 to go in the first half.
Well, we did have a substitution right before that conversation between the coach and the ref. Sophia Carney, number 3, now in for number 20, Mia Lombardi.
And now that ball goes out of play. It'll be Testa to pass it in. Another substitution made for Valley. Coming in now is Ramos. Coming out is Hammer. Now Sophia Carney also in the game. And it is a Wayne Valley ball. It'll be Aaron Clark on it. That is passed in. And Golden not able to deal with it. That goes out of play. Megan Josic into her sister, Emily Josic. And now on the ball. And now that's cleared over to Carney. Not able to effectively clear it there. And now on the ball is Kelsey Ramos. And Ramos takes a high shot. That goes off the crossbar. No goal on that play. And that ball goes out of bounds. Still a Wayne Valley ball, but they got lucky there yet again with that ball going off the crossbar.
And you saw Lacerio jumping up for that. Just couldn't reach it there. And luckily, just barely hits off that crossbar, and it bounces back.
And now kept in bounds there. No goal on that play. And that ball goes out of bounds. It is a Wayne Valley ball. And passing it in is Megan Josic. She gives it to Ryan. And that ball goes out of play. It is a Wayne Hills ball. And now that's passed into Bradley. But the defense broke that up. Bradley seems to be a little bit hurt. She's kind of limping a little bit on that play. That would be a huge loss for this team, but she seems to be okay. And now that's passed in. Ball goes out of bounds. Wayne Valley ball with about 4 to go in the first half. And that ball goes out of play. It'll be Clark on it for Valley. She passes it in. And that ball goes out of bounds again. That is passed to Ryan. Kick down the field. And that ball goes out. It is a Wayne Hills ball. It's passed in the season tone. And kept in by Weltman. Sydney Chesson on it. Whistle is blown. Wayne Valley ball. With about 2:52 to go in the first half. And that ball goes out of play. It's a Wayne Hills ball. Now Bradley on it. Now season tone for Hills. Tripped up there. Patriots ball again. With about 2:10 to go in the first half. That's passed over to season tone. And Bradley takes a shot. That goes wide of the goal.
Bradley unfortunately overshoots that one as she goes for goal here. Just under 2 minutes left in the half. Still scoreless. But definitely a lot of pressure being put on both sides, offensively and defensively.
And now Josic on the ball. And picked up by Lasario. And now here is Golden on it. Gives it to Chesson. Chesson passes it over to Bradley. Bradley with some nice moves there. And she takes a shot. Saved by McGraw with about a minute to go in the first half. Now Bay Kazan gives it to Golden. That is kept in. Sophia Carney on the ball. And Golden passes it in towards Weltman and Season Tone. And that ball goes out of play. Less than 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now Golden on it with 5 seconds. And that will do it for the first half here at Wayne Valley High School. No score in this game so far, and we will be back for second half action in just a few moments.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Positano Pizza, the finest Italian cuisine and pizzeria. Show us your Wayne Hill student ID to get 2 slices of pizza or a bowl of pasta, plus a drink for only $5.
And now, welcome back to Wayne Valley High School, where the Wayne Valley Indians are playing your Wayne Hills Patriots. Again, I am Noah Sandler alongside Jason Hook for today's matchup. No score. Jason, what did you see? What have you seen so far in this game?
I mean, there's been a lot of back and forth on that offensive end. Both teams have taken a good amount of shots, maybe around 5-6 each. So it's been a bit of a slow-paced game. But when it comes to that defensive end, that's where they definitely put their best work in. They've been striving on defense, being able to put the pressure on those attackers, making sure nothing gets in that goal. And both sides have definitely done a great job at that.
And now it'll be Hills to start out with the ball for the second half. And now here's Bradley on it, looking to get some quick action here to start off the second half. Through the legs of the defender, that was Clark, and that goes out of play. Wayne Hill's ball. Now that's passed over by Bradley. In the corner of the field over here. And that ball goes out of play. And that is cleared out again. Hill's ball. Now Josic on it, and almost broken up there by the defense. And that ball goes out of play. Wayne Valley ball. And it'll be a goalie kick.
Once again, both teams, like we saw at the start of the game, very quick beginning the second half, trying to push it towards the other side, as fast as possible, put that pressure on each defense.
And now that is passed in to Bayat Kazan. And now Bradley on the ball. Bradley, and now that's over to Season Tone. Now Chesson fighting with the defender, and she was pushed away. No whistle on that play. It is a Wayne Hills ball. And now Season Tone on it. And passed in. And now Weiss on it, and a whistle is blown. Injured player for Valley. That is Mackenzie McGregor. She seems to be really injured there for the Indians. And she's surrounded by players of both teams. and is being looked at by a trainer.
The call was a yellow card on Beza Bayazkan, as there is still a player from Valley down on the field, currently being looked at by her trainers. So far, a lot of quick pace play in this second half with just 3 minutes and 10 seconds in. And already a lot of more aggressive play, and it has led to an injured player on the field.
It's starting to rain a little bit here, and coming in for the injured player is Elisa Wasicki. Again, that injured player was Mackenzie McGregor for the Indians. And she's off the field now. It'll be Valley with the ball. And whistle blown again. Now Ramos on the ball. It is Indians. That is kicked in. And nothing comes of that. And saved by Lasario with 36 to go in the second half. Now that's passed over to Testa. And Carney on the ball. Now Clark on it. Here is Mia Lombardi. She passes it over to Bradley. Bradley in the middle with some nice moves to try to get past the defenders. And now Bradley tries to slow it down there, but she is double teamed. And now that was centered, and that goes out of play.
Bradley does a great job using that IQ to her advantage. Again, that right to the Valley defender as her ricochets off the leg. Great job seeing that as it then goes out of bounds.
Now passed in by Lombardi. The rain is starting to come down a little bit here, but hopefully it will just be passing. And now good win. And that ball goes out of play. Now that's passed in. Here's Wasicki on it. Tripped up with Season Tone. And that will be a Hills ball. And now passed in. And just kept in bounds there. That is centered, but Bradley not able to make a play off of it. And Carney takes a shot towards the middle. Nothing yet. And a shot taken by Cheston that goes wide to the right of the goal. A nice sequence there for the Patriots.
They had a few chances there. Sophia Bradley running to the ball. Unfortunately, she just missed it, ran into the goal. And then we had Sydney Chesson, who had a chance at scoring. Unfortunately, just goes wide to the right.
Now Weiss on it. Here's Carney. She passes it over towards Lombardi, but will Lombardi be able to get there? No, she won't. That pass was just a little too far ahead of Lombardi from number 3, Sophia Carney. And now that ball goes out of play. Carney on it. Here's Lombardi. And that is cleared out of bounds by the defense. With 32:15 to go in the second half. And the whistle is blown. Wayne Valley ball.
Both teams now picking up the pace as we are just about 10 minutes into the second half. Both teams still looking for their first goal.
That is out of bounds, and it is Wayne Hill's ball. That's passed over to Carney, and now Valley ball. That is kept in bounds, and now chasing after Sophia Bradley, using her speed to get there. Was able to break that up, but did go out of play. That just shows what kind of player Bradley is. Always looking to get to the ball, using her speed and everything she has in her to get past the defenders and try to make a play.
Yeah, I mean, she started off pretty far away from the ball, and she ended up just getting a leg on it as it's kicked out of bounds.
And now Josic on it, and here's Chesson. Back to Osbach and over to Chesson again. Now, here's Carney. Gives it to Weiss. And the whistle is blown. It is Wayne Valley ball. With about a half hour to go in the second half. That is pass between the defense. And now here's Bradley on it, looking to make a play off the defender. Now Bradley passes it to Weiss. Weiss has to chase after a little bit, but she gets possession. She gives it over to Lombardi. And now that is passed in and picked up by McGraw. And now here's Carney on it. And Carney chasing after it, looking for an opportunity, but that's broken up by the defense, and now Lombardi centers it, and that goes out of play. Some nice opportunities here for the Patriots.
Patriots once again showing off their skill set on the offensive end, able to push forward, putting that pressure on the defense. And it seems like this Valley defense has slowly been deteriorating a little bit as Hills has gotten a lot more shots off onto Ashford McGraw.
And now here is Lombardi to take a shot, and that is saved by McGraw. Some really nice opportunities here. And it is a Wayne Valley ball. Now coming out of the game is Ryan, and coming in is Emily Josic. Now Bradley using her speed, but McGraw tries to clear it. Now she has to rush to get back to the goal, and a shot taken that goes wide by Carney. Carney really didn't have that much time there. She really had to use just a little bit of time she had before McGraw would get back to take a quick shot, so she didn't really have too much time to set up there.
Yeah, and, running to it, kind of sliding into that shot. Unfortunately, she couldn't get the accuracy in there as it shot very far right.
Now that is passed into Bradley. Now over to Lombardi. And Weiss is on it. And that goes out of play. It is a Wayne Hills ball.
Hills once again putting the pressure on, moving up and down towards that offensive end.
It's Dara Golden to pass it in. And that goes out of play. Wayne Valley ball. With 25:30 to go in the second half. Here is Josic on it. And now for Valley with some nice moves there. That was Almazi. Excuse me, that was Hammer, I believe. And now coming into the game for Valley is Emily Bolson, and coming in for Hills is Sadrotsky. And now both teams looking for opportunities here. Still no score at Wayne Valley High School. Goodwin kicks it down the field. Weiss not able to follow through on that kick. It is a Wayne Valley ball. Here's Wasiki. She passes it back to Clark. And Clark gives it to Josic. And here is Chesson on it. Chesson passes it down the field, and that is chased after by Bradley, but McGraw is there just to scoop that up pretty easily.
And while the pass was a bit overdone, Bradley very close to getting there, and it's making sure Asher McGraw has her eyes on the game, has kind of making sure she's focused. Unfortunately, just overdone on the pass.
Here's Sadrowski on it, but not able to get there in time. And now that is kept in by Lombardi. That goes out of play. Corner kick for the Indians. And now that corner kick goes in, and that ball goes out of play. Hills got lucky there.
Once again, a bit of an overshot on the corner. We saw that earlier on in the second half. That one, Valley player was able to get her head on it, but it is knocked out of bounds.
Now Losario. And now here's Bradley. Ball goes out of play. Wayne Hill's ball. Now Sadrowski to pass it in. Goes into Carney. And now Chesson on it. That's given to Carney. And kicked out of play. Now Carney with some nice moves there. She centers it. Broken up by the defense. And now here's Chesson after it, fighting with the defender. It's Wasiki on her. Out of bounds, Wayne Hill's ball. And Sadrowski passes it into Carney. That is barely, and that goes out of bounds. Almost kept in there by Sadrowski, just wasn't able to handle it. Now a substitution is made. Coming in for Valley is Hunzak, and coming out is Hammer. And that ball goes out of bounds. Wayne Hill's ball. That's passed in. Here's Tori Ryan on it. She passes it all the way down the field, and here is Dara Golden. And that goes out of play.
We've now passed the 20-minute mark, past halfway through the second half, and still scoreless here at Wayne Valley.
Now Golden passes it down the field. Bradley on it. And they're going to say that ball was out of bounds. The Wayne Hill side of the bleachers are not happy with that call. Here is Carney on it. And that is picked up there. Here's Megan Jozak. And now Season Tone. About 18 minutes to go in the second half. And Bayazkan is now coming in for Weiss.
Bayazkan was taken out earlier on in the second half after taking a yellow card. Now she's back in as Megan Weiss comes out.
Now on the ball is Jozak. And that goes out of play. Wayne Valley ball. And here's Losario. She passes it over to Golden. And Lombardi on it. Maddie Testa. And that ball is chased down. And that goes out of play. Wayne Hill's ball. And now some action here between both teams kind of fighting for it. And that is just kept in by Losario and picked up. Now that is passed all the way down the field. Chased after by Carney for Hills, trying to get past the defense. And that is just cleared out of play by Vivino. Now here is Lombardi on it. And that is just kicked out of play by Vivino. About 15 minutes to go in the second half now. Still no score here at Wayne Valley High School. And that ball goes out of play. Now coming into the game is Lily Weltman for Sydney Chesson.
Weltman, who had a lot of playing time for most of the first half. This is her first appearance here in the second half of the game.
And now tripped up there. And Carney on the ball. Nice moves there. She leaves it for Weltman, who just checked into the game. And Bradley back to Weltman. And that is passed in. Bayazkan on the ball. And that is broken up by the defense. And now Kelsey Ramos on it. She delivered a little bit of a push there to Ostback. No penalty called on that play. Wayne Valley ball with 13:53 to go in the second half. A close one here. Here's Sadrowski on it. And here is Weltman. And that is chased after by Carney. And that is broken up there by the defense. And pass downfield. Here is Ramos on it. And broken up by Goodwin. Tori Ryan on it. And now here is Jozak. Aaron Clark. She passes it in. And then a shot taken. That is a goal for Wayne Valley. That shot by Hunzak. Carly Hunzak on that shot for Wayne Valley. Just off the tips of the fingers of Lasario.
12:34 left to go in the game, and that's just the first goal either team has scored. Unfortunately, it was against the Patriots, as they're going to have to answer back here. Not much time, just about a fourth of the way left in the game.
Yeah, the defense just wasn't there on that play to break that up. You just saw her kind of parking herself right in front of the goal, hoping for an opportunity. Now that's passed up there and picked up by McGraw. And kept inbounds by Golden. $11:44 to go in the second half. And substitutions will be made. Coming in for Hills is Weiss. Coming out is Sadrowski. And for Valley, coming in is Rathjen. And coming out is Bolson. And that ball goes out of bounds. Out again. It is a Valley ball. And Wayne Valley ball. As it looks like Sophia Bradley a little bit hurt on that play. Now that is passed in. And that goes out of play. Wayne Hill's ball. Under 10 minutes to go in the second half. Hills will need to get to work quick. And the clock has stopped. It seems like Sophia Bradley's really hurt.
Bradley took a fall earlier on in this second half, looking like she hurt her ankle, and now it seems like that's slowly worsened as she's on one knee on the field.
Now she's able to get up. Bradley will come out for the moment. And now she'll get ready to come right back in. And that got past Golden. Rathjen on it. And Golden kicks it out of play. And now passed in there. Goodwin clears it up. Ramos on it. And now, nice moves there. A shot taken by Ryan. And now another shot that went wide of the net.
Shot looked like it was about to go a little bit right from the goal. Losario, however, did make the diving play as it hits off her hand, and Valley retains possession at the corner.
Aaron Clark on the corner kick. And that goes wide of the net and out of play. And substitutions will be made. Sophia Bradley in for Maddie Chesson. Now that is passed in. Oos back on it. And here's Jozak. And Tori Ryan. And Losario picks it up, looking to get to work quickly as we have 6:39 to go in the second half. Here's Bradley on it. She gives it to Lombardi. And now passed in. And It'll be Golden. Or not. It will be Weltman to pass it in. She gives it to Beazcan. Here is Weiss. And Bradley tried for a nice move there, but you could just tell her injury is kind of getting to her a little bit. Not doing the type of move that she normally can, and that is chased after by Ramos and kicked out of play by Osbach with 5:26 to go in the second half. Wayne Valley 1, Wing Hill 0.
Valley slowly but surely pushing the ball up the field once again. Possibly looking to score one more time. Heighten that lead. Make sure Hills doesn't have any other chances. Hills really needs to step things up on that defensive end. They got to push forward on offense as well.
Now, that is a Wayne Hills ball. It's passed up the side of the field. Nice move there. Here's Josic on the ball. And Lucario to kick it all the way down the field. Here is Sophia Bradley on it. And that goes out of play. Bradley to pass it in. She gives it in towards Carney. And Carney with a little bit of time, but the defense was there. Looked like the players were looking for some sort of penalty there on Valley. But play continues on. And now that is all cleared all the way back. And here is Ramos. But that is broken up by the defense. Wayne Hill's ball. They really got to get to work here with under 4 minutes to go.
Coach Rayberger not very happy with the referees here as he was signaling for a handball on the play, but no call was made.
Beazcan totally got tripped up there by Tori Ryan. Hill's ball. Here's Weiss on it. And Lombardi. And there is Bradley in the corner. And they're going to say she pushed her down. That is Wayne Valley ball. Actually, it's a Wayne Hills ball. Bradley doesn't want to pass it in herself. She's looking for somebody. Oh, no, that actually is Wayne Hills ball. I thought that was. And here is Beazcan on it. About 3 to go. Season Tone passes it back. Beazcan takes a shot. But McGraw able to deal with it. And a nice move there by Weiss. And that goes out of play. Wayne Valley ball. 2.5 minutes to go in the second half. That is passed into Beazcan. And that is clear down the field. Good win into Weiss. Out of bounds again. Weiss to pass it in. And here's Beazcan on it. Nice move there. And with a nice open pass there. Here's Carney chasing after it for Hills. With some time. She passes it. Here's Bradley. And tripped up there. And that was picked up by McGraw. Nothing's called on that play. The coaching staff here for Hill is not happy with the refs in this game. And now on the breakaway here. Shot broken up there by Osbach. Less than a minute to go. And Valley just taking their time here. Less than 30 seconds to go now. Golden moving fast, trying to get something done here. She kicks it down the field. Now 10 seconds. And Golden passes it in. And that will do it. Wayne Valley has won the county tournament after some calls that were just unreasonable by these refs. Wayne Valley has won it by a score of 1-0. Their goal scored by Carly Hunzak, the one goal of the game.
Overall, great game by both sides. Unfortunately, as seen by that Wayne Hills coaching staff, they were not happy with any of the calls from the refs and lack thereof. Overall, both teams did seem to bring their A game, but Valley did come on top here at Valley Stadium.
Coach Rayberger still talking with the refs. And that will do it here at Wayne Valley High School. Once again, the final score 1-0 with Wayne Valley winning the county tournament. For Jason Hook, I am Noah Sandler, and we will see you on Tuesday for a state matchup for this girls soccer team against Morris Hills.